सत्यमेव जयते नानितं सत्येन पन्था विदतो देवयानः येनाक्रमन्ति ऋषयो यप्तकामा यत्र तं सत्यस्य परमं निधानम्। सत्यमेव जयते सत्यमेव जयते।
My dear friends, our meeting is drawing to an end, and before we close and take the final resolution which will unite us in action, I must ask you once again, have you anything to add to the declarations you have already made?
Yes, I would like to state once again that I have devoted my whole life to helping humanity. For many years, I have tried all known and possible methods, but none has given me satisfactory results. And I am now convinced I must find the truth if I want to succeed in my endeavor. Unless one has found the true meaning of life, how can one help men effectively? All the remedies we use are mere palliatives, not cures. Only the consciousness of truth can save humanity.
I have suffered too much in life. I have experienced too many disillusionments, borne too much injustice, seen too much misery. I no longer believe in anything. I no longer expect anything from the world or from men. My last remaining hope is to find the truth, always supposing that it is possible to find it.
You see us together here because a common aspiration has linked our lives, but we are not bound by any carnal or even emotional ties. One single preoccupation dominates our existence: to find the truth.
Unlike our two friends here, we two live only by each other and for each other. Our sole ambition is to realize a perfect union, to become a single being in two bodies, one thought, one will, one breath in two breasts, one beat in two hearts that live only by their love, in their love, for their love. It is the perfect truth of love that we want to discover and live. To that, we have dedicated our lives.
It does not seem to me that the truth can be reached so easily. The path that leads to it must be difficult, steep, precipitous, full of dangers and risks, of threats and deceptive illusions.
An unshakable will and nerves of steel are needed to overcome all these obstacles. I am ready for every sacrifice, every austerity, every renunciation in order to make myself worthy of the sublime goal I have set before me.
You have nothing more to add? No. So we are all agreed. Together, by uniting our efforts, we shall climb this sacred mountain that leads to the truth. It is a difficult and arduous enterprise, but well worth the attempt, for when one reaches the summit, one can look upon the truth and all problems must necessarily be solved. So, tomorrow, we shall all meet at the foot of the mountain, and together we shall begin the ascent. Goodbye.
Look at the sunrise.
What a view! Wait, please stop. Let us gather here.
Friends, I must speak to you. I have something serious to tell you. Cheerfully, easily, we have climbed the mountain all together, as far as this plateau, from which we can look at life and better understand its problems and the cause of human suffering. Our knowledge is becoming vaster and deeper, and we are nearer to finding the solution I am seeking. But here we come to a decisive turning point. Now the ascent will become steeper and harder. And above all, we are going to cross over to the other side of the mountain, where we shall no longer be able to see the valley and men. This means I shall have to give up my work and betray my pledge to help humanity. Do not ask me to stay with you. I must leave you and return to my duty.
Poor friend. He has gone back, vanquished by his attachment to his work, by the illusion of the outer world and its appearances. But nothing should slow us down. Let us continue on our way, without regret, without hesitation.
Well, well. What's the matter with you? Are you tired?
No, leave me alone. I have had enough.
We can't stop here. Look how far we've come.
It's impossible.
Why? Come on, take heart.
No, I tell you I am worn out. It's a stupid and impossible venture. Just look at that. We are completely cut off from the world and life. Nothing is left on which we can base our understanding. And there, we can't even see where we are going. It is an absurdity or a delusion, perhaps both. After all, there might not even be any truth to discover. The world and life are only a dead end, a hell in which we are imprisoned. You can go on if you like, but I won't move. I refuse to be taken in.
Yes, as I was telling you, I believe we set out on this adventure a little rashly.
It is true that so far our ascent seems to have been rather fruitless. Of course, we have made some very interesting observations, but these observations have not had much result.
Yes, I prefer my own methods. They are much more rational. They are based on constant experimentation, and I do not take a step forward until I am sure of the validity of the previous one. Let us call our friends. I think I have something to communicate to them. My dear friends and fellow travelers, as we move further and further away from the world and its concrete reality, I have the growing feeling that we are behaving like children. It was revealed to us that if we climb this precipitous mountain, whose summit no one has yet been able to scale, we would reach the truth, and we set out without even bothering to study the way up. How do we know that we have not taken the wrong path? Where is our assurance that the result will conform to our hopes? It seems to me that we have acted with unpardonable imprudence, and that our endeavor is not at all scientific. I have therefore decided, although to my great regret, since my friendly feelings towards you all remain intact, that I must stop here in order to study the problem and, if possible, to form some certainty about the path to follow, the right path, the one which leads to the goal. Besides, I am convinced that if I can find the secret of the composition of the smallest thing in nature, for example, this humble stone on the path, I shall have found the truth we are seeking. So I shall stay here and bid you au revoir. Yes, au revoir, I hope, for perhaps you will come back to me and to scientific methods. Or else, if I find what I am looking for, I shall come to you to bring you the good news.
I too am thinking of leaving you. My reasons are not the same as those of our friend the scientist, but they are just as compelling. During this interesting climb of ours, I have had some experiences. New beauties have been revealed to me, or rather, a new sense of beauty has taken birth in me. At the same time, I have been seized with an ardent and imperious need to express my experience in concrete forms, to cast them in matter, so that they may serve for the education of all, and especially so that the physical world may be illumined by them. I am going to leave you then, regretfully, and stay here until I can give form to my new impressions. When I have said all that I have to say, I shall take up the ascent again and rejoin you, wherever you are, in quest of new discoveries. Goodbye, and good luck.
What do we care about these defections? Each one follows his destiny and acts according to his own nature. nothing can turn us away from our endeavor. Let us continue on our way, courageously, boldly, without weakening.
Well, my friends, this is what I
further.
call
We can do
a
this.
climb. What a path. It goes up and up without a break. There's no time to catch your breath. I am beginning to feel tired.
What? You too want to give up? That's not very sporting of you.
No, there's no question of giving up. But why don't we rest a while and sit down for a moment to get our breath back? My legs are hurting me. We shall climb much better after relaxing a little. Have a heart. Let's sit down for a moment. Only for a moment. Afterwards we shall set out with more enthusiasm. You'll see.
All right. We don't want to leave you here moping all alone. Besides, I feel rather tired too. Let's sit down together and tell each other what we have seen and learnt.
Well, it's only because I don't want to part company with you. But we must not stay here long. It is dangerous to linger on the way.
Look, no one is left. We are alone. What do the others matter? We don't need them. Aren't we perfectly happy together?
Look, darling, look at that little house on the hillside. Isolated and yet so welcoming, so intimate and yet opening onto infinite space. What more do we need? An ideal place to shelter our union. For we have realized, we too, a perfect, total union, without shadow or cloud. Let us leave the others to their climb towards a problematic truth. We have found our own truth. That is enough for us.
Yes, my love. Let us settle in this house and enjoy our love without a care for anything else.
I have something important to communicate to you. Will you kindly listen to me, both of you? In the course of our ascent, I have discovered my true being, my true self. I have become one with the eternal, and nothing else exists for me. Nothing else is necessary. All that is not that is illusory, worthless. So I consider that I have reached the end of the path. And here is a sublime and solitary spot, a place that is truly favorable to the life I shall lead from now on. I shall live here in perfect contemplation, far from earth and men, free at last from the need to live.
No, that cannot be the truth, the whole truth. The universal creation cannot be merely an illusion from which one has to escape. Besides, we have not yet reached the summit of the mountain. We have not yet completed our ascent.
But here the pathway stops. It seems that no human being has ever gone any further. To climb this sheer rock that rises before us and seems to be inaccessible, we must discover for ourselves the way to go on, step by step, by our own efforts, with no other guide or help than our will and our faith. No doubt we shall have to hew our own path.
Never mind, let us go on, ever onwards. We still have something left to find. The creation has a meaning that we have yet to discover.
The summit at last, the shining, dazzling truth, nothing but the truth.
Everything else has disappeared. The steps by which we so laboriously climb to the summit have vanished.
Emptiness behind, in front, everywhere. There is only room for our feet, nothing more.
Where do we go now? What shall we do?
The truth is here, truth alone, all around, everywhere.
And yet to realize it, we must go further. And for that, another secret must be found.
Obviously, all possibility of personal effort ends here. Another power must intervene.
Grace alone can act. Grace alone can open the way for us. Grace alone can perform the miracle.
Look over there, far away, on the other side of the bottomless abyss. That peak resplendent with brilliant light. Those perfect forms, that marvelous harmony. The promised land, the new earth.
Yes, that is where we must go. But how?
Since that is where we must go, the means will be given to us.
Yes, we must have faith, an absolute trust in the grace, a total surrender to the divine.
Yes, an absolute self-giving to the divine will. And since all visible paths have disappeared, we must leap forward without fear or hesitation, in complete trust.
And we shall be carried to the place where we must go.
Here we are, borne upon invisible wings by a miraculous power.
What marvelous splendor! Now we have only to learn to live the new life.
नमो भगवते माहेश्वरे स्वाहा एतत् पाद्यं श्री